Right now, in this very moment, even if nothing around you seems to be changing, something loving is still moving in your life. Even if the answer has not come, even if the door has not opened, even if the pain has not fully lifted, the universe is still working for you, even now. That is not just a pretty thought. That is a deep truth. So many people believe that if they cannot see progress, then no progress is happening. They believe that if life feels quiet, then life has stopped listening. They believe that if they are still waiting, then they must have been forgotten. But that is not how life works. Some of the most important things begin in silence. Some of the most beautiful changes happen where the eyes cannot yet see. Some of the greatest blessings begin long before they arrive. There are moments when the heart feels tired because it has hoped for so long. There are moments when the mind becomes heavy because it has tried to understand what makes no sense. There are moments when the soul quietly asks, "Is anything still happening for me?" And if that is where you are today, this message is for you. Not for the strongest version of you, not for the version of you that already has it all together. This is for the part of you that feels unsure, the part of you that has been carrying too much, the part of you that wants to believe but feels worn down by waiting. Even now, something greater than your fear is at work. Even now, life has not turned away from you. Even now, your story is still being written with care. Sometimes what hurts the most is not only the problem itself, but the feeling that nothing is moving. It is the feeling of standing still while everyone else seems to be going forward. It is the feeling of praying and hearing no answer right away. It is the feeling of trying to stay hopeful while part of you wonders if hope is foolish. But there is a difference between stillness and abandonment. There is a difference between silence and absence. There is a difference between waiting and being denied. Just because you do not yet see the full picture does not mean the picture is not being formed. Just because the soil looks empty does not mean the seed is not growing. Just because the night feels long does not mean the morning has forgotten how to come. Life is doing many things at once, even when you only see one small piece of it. While you are worrying, life may be arranging. While you are doubting, life may be aligning. While you are asking how, life may already be preparing the answer in ways too deep and too wide for you to notice yet. This is why you do not have to measure truth only by what is visible. Not everything real can be seen right away. Love cannot always be seen, but it can be felt. Healing cannot always be seen at first, but it can be happening. Guidance does not always arrive as a loud voice. Many times it comes as a soft shift, a quiet pause, a closed door that protects you, or a delay that saves you from something that was not right for you. When people are hurting, they often become harsh with themselves. They ask, "What am I doing wrong?" They ask, Why is this not happening yet? They ask, why does life seem to work for everyone except me? But maybe the better question is not, why is nothing working? Maybe the better question is, what if something is working that I cannot yet see? That one small shift changes everything. Because when you stop looking only for loud proof, you begin to notice quiet support. You notice how you have made it through days you once thought would break you. You notice how certain things did not happen, and later you understood why. You notice how your heart is learning something even in the middle of confusion. You notice that somehow life is still carrying you. There is comfort in remembering that not every change announces itself. The sunrise does not shout. A flower does not force itself open. The season does not beg the leaves to change. Life knows how to move with wisdom. Life knows when to begin. Life knows when to pause. Life knows when something needs more time, and you are part of that same life. You are not outside of its care. You are not separate from its wisdom. You are held inside it. That means even when you feel lost, life still knows where you are. Even when you feel late, life still knows your timing. Even when you feel unsure, life has not become confused about you. Maybe today you feel tired of being told to be patient. Maybe you feel tired of hearing that everything will work out, when right now all you can feel is the weight of the moment. That feeling is real. It matters. This is not about pretending everything is easy. This is not about forcing yourself to smile when your heart feels heavy. This is not about denying pain. It is about remembering that pain is not the whole story. Hard moments are real, but they are not final. Delays are real, but they are not always empty. Tears are real, but they are not proof that life has stopped loving you. You can be tired and still supported. You can be confused and still guided. You can be in the middle of a hard season and still be deeply held by something greater. There are times when the mind wants immediate proof. It wants a sign, an answer, a clear result, something it can point to and say, there, now I know. But life does not always work in such a direct way. Sometimes the proof comes later. Sometimes understanding comes after the season has changed. Sometimes what looks like a setback is really a redirection. Sometimes what feels like a loss is making room for something more true. Sometimes what seems like nothing is actually deep, invisible work. Your life is not only shaped by what happens in public, in clear view, in ways you can explain. It is also shaped by quiet shifts within you, by things falling away, by old fears breaking, by new strength forming in silence. This is why you must be gentle with yourself in the waiting. You do not need to punish yourself for not knowing. You do not need to push yourself into fear because the answer is not here yet. You do not need to fill every quiet space with worry. You can breathe. You can pause. You can let this truth enter slowly. The universe is still working for you, even now. Not only when you are strong, not only when you are positive, not only when you have figured everything out. Even now, in the middle of the questions, in the middle of the unfinished chapter, in the middle of the unknown, life is still moving. Love is still present. Possibility is still alive. There is something deeply healing about being reminded that you do not have to carry the whole future on your back. You do not have to know every answer today. You do not have to force tomorrow to arrive faster. You do not have to solve every problem before you are allowed to rest. The heart heals when it feels safe, and one of the ways it begins to feel safe is by remembering that it is not alone. You are not trying to build your life with only your own hands. There is a deeper wisdom moving with you. There is a larger order at work. There is support that goes beyond what your mind can measure. You may call it life, love, grace, divine timing, or the universe. Whatever name you give it, the truth remains the same. You are not forgotten. Think of how often you have survived moments you thought you would never get through. Think of how many days felt impossible until they were behind you. Think of how many answers only made sense after time had passed. At the time, you may have felt confused. You may have felt hurt. You may have felt as if nothing good could come from it. And then later, you saw what you could not see before. You saw what ended so something better could begin. You saw what left because it no longer belonged. You saw what delayed because it needed the right time. If this has happened before, it can happen again. If life has carried you before, it can carry you now. The fear that says, maybe nothing good is coming, feels very loud when the heart is tired. But fear is not always telling the truth. Fear often speaks from pain, not from wisdom. Fear looks at a quiet season and calls it failure. Fear looks at a delay and calls it rejection. Fear looks at a closed door and calls it the end. But wisdom sees more gently. Wisdom says, wait, there may be more here than you understand. Wisdom says, do not decide too early that silence means nothing. Wisdom says, trust that life may be doing hidden work, and that hidden work matters. Hidden work is still work. Unseen movement is still movement. A quiet answer is still an answer. If your heart has been carrying sadness, let these words sit with you for a moment. You do not need to rush to fix your emotions. You do not need to talk yourself out of your pain. You only need to soften enough to let comfort in. Let this be one soft place where you stop fighting for a moment. Let this be one moment where you do not force a solution. Let this be one breath where you admit that you are tired and allow yourself to be held by something kinder than pressure. Sometimes healing begins not when we understand everything, but when we stop trying so hard to control everything. Sometimes peace begins when we stop demanding immediate proof and allow trust to return one breath at a time. The universe is still working for you in ways you may not yet have words for. It may be clearing what no longer fits. It may be teaching your heart what truly matters. It may be moving people, timing, places, and events into a pattern that only later will become clear. It may be protecting you from what your present self would chase, but your future self would regret. It may be giving you space to become the version of you that can fully receive what is on the way. Not every pause is punishment. Not every delay is loss. Not every unanswered question is bad news. Some things take time because they are sacred. Some things come slowly because they are being prepared with care. And maybe that is what you most need to hear right now. What is taking time is not always being withheld. Sometimes it is being prepared. Sometimes your heart is being made ready. Sometimes the path is being cleared. Sometimes the lesson must deepen before the blessing can stay. Sometimes peace must grow before change can fully land in your life. That does not mean you have done something wrong. It means life is not careless with you. It means life is not throwing random pieces at you. It means there is order, even where you feel disorder. It means there is meaning, even where you feel confused. It means there is support, even where you feel alone. So if today you feel like giving up on the idea that life is still with you, pause before you do. Take one deeper breath. Let your shoulders soften. Let your heart hear something true. This chapter is not proof that you have been abandoned. This chapter may be the very place where deeper trust is being born in you. This chapter may be where your old way of living begins to fall away. This chapter may be where your soul learns how to rest, how to receive, how to stop forcing, how to believe in goodness before it fully appears. There is power in that. There is healing in that. There is beauty in that, even if you cannot fully see it yet. You do not have to become someone else to be supported. You do not have to reach some perfect state before the universe can work in your favor. You do not have to earn care by suffering well. You are worthy of support now. You are worthy of peace now. You are worthy of unseen help now. And sometimes that help shows up not as a sudden miracle, but as quiet strength to keep going, a soft feeling that says, hold on, an unexpected calm in the middle of trouble, a reminder to trust one more day. Small signs matter too. Small support is still support. A small light still breaks darkness. Hold this close. Even now, with all the things you do not know, with all the things you wish were clearer, with all the things that still feel unfinished, life is not done with you. The universe is still working for you, even now. It is working in the silence. It is working in the waiting. It is working in the hidden places. It is working in the healing you cannot yet measure. It is working in the strength you are building without even noticing. It is working in the soft return of hope. It is working in the quiet truth that something good can still come from here. And when you remember that, even a little, the heart begins to loosen. The breath begins to deepen. The soul begins to rest. And in that softer space, you become able to feel what was true all along. You are still being guided, still being held, still being led towards something more loving than fear can imagine. The deepest truth in this moment is simple, but it carries great power. The universe is still working for you, even if you cannot see it yet. This truth matters because so much suffering comes from what the mind decides too early. The mind looks at a quiet season and says, nothing is happening. It looks at a delay and says, I am being ignored. It looks at a hard chapter and says, life is against me. But life is often doing much more than the mind can understand in the moment. There is a larger movement that does not always show itself right away. There is a bigger picture forming beyond what you can currently measure. And when you begin to trust that, something inside you softens. You stop fighting every moment. You stop judging every delay as failure. You stop taking every pause as a sign that goodness has passed you by. The universe does not only work through what is obvious. It also works through timing, through change, through slow growth, through lessons, through endings, through quiet redirection. Many people expect support to look only like quick success, immediate answers, and open doors. But support can also look like a pause that keeps you from rushing into the wrong thing. Support can look like a delay that gives you time to grow. Support can look like a truth being revealed slowly so your heart can handle it. Support can look like something falling apart because it was never meant to carry your future. If you only call life good when it gives you what you expected, you may miss the deeper ways it protects and prepares you. It is easy to trust when everything is going well. It is easy to believe in life when things are moving fast and answers are arriving. But the deeper kind of trust is born in the in-between. It is born when there is no full answer yet. It is born when the future still looks unclear. It is born when all you have is a quiet feeling that there must be more happening than what you can currently see. This kind of trust is not blind. It is not foolish. It is not weak. It is a wise choice to stop giving fear all the power. It is a wise choice to admit that your view is limited and that life may still be doing good work beyond what your present mind can understand. Sometimes people think that trusting means never feeling fear. But that is not true. Trust does not mean you never feel shaken. It means you no longer let every fearful feeling decide what is real. You may still feel worry, but you do not have to build your whole view of life around it. You may still feel pain, but you do not have to let pain write the final meaning of your story. You may still feel lost, but you can remember that being lost is not the same as being left behind. Trust says, I do not know everything, but I believe there is still care here. Trust says, I cannot see the full path, but I believe the path has not disappeared. Trust says, this moment is hard, but hard is not the same as hopeless. There is a great difference between saying life is perfect and saying life is purposeful. Not every moment feels good. Not every experience is easy. Not every loss can be quickly understood. But even painful seasons can still hold purpose. A hard season may teach you what peace really means. A closed door may lead you away from something that would have emptied you. A lonely season may bring you back to your own soul. An unanswered question may help you grow in ways a quick answer never could. Purpose does not erase pain, but it gives pain a wider space to breathe inside. It reminds you that what is difficult is not always meaningless. And when you begin to believe that, you no longer feel quite so trapped by what you cannot control. The main truth here is not that life always gives what you want the moment you want it. The main truth is that life is still moving in your favor at levels deeper than your current understanding. Sometimes that favor feels gentle. Sometimes it feels like comfort. Sometimes it feels like a lesson you did not ask for, but later are grateful you learned. Sometimes it feels like strength quietly growing in you. Sometimes it feels like an inner shift before the outer shift arrives. There are times when the universe begins by changing you before it changes your situation. It begins by helping you see clearly, rest deeply, let go honestly, or value yourself more truthfully. Those changes may not look dramatic from the outside, but they can reshape everything. Think about how many things in life happen long before they can be seen. A child grows for months before birth. Roots spread before the tree rises. Morning begins before the sun appears over the horizon. Change often starts in hidden places. This is one of the great truths people forget when they are tired. They forget that hidden does not mean absent. They forget that slow does not mean wrong. They forget that unseen does not mean impossible. But when you remember this, your whole relationship with waiting begins to change. Waiting no longer feels like empty space. It begins to feel like sacred space. It becomes a place where something is taking shape, even if you do not yet know its final form. Maybe right now you are looking at some part of your life and wondering why it has not changed yet. Maybe it is your heart, your home, your work, your peace, your healing, or a prayer that feels unanswered. And because it has taken longer than you hoped, the mind begins to make painful stories. It says, maybe it is never coming. It says, maybe I missed my chance. It says, maybe good things are not for me. These thoughts feel strong because they come from fear, and fear always speaks urgently. But fear is often only reacting to the unknown. It is not seeing the whole truth. The whole truth may be much kinder than fear suggests. The whole truth may be that your life is still in motion. The whole truth may be that what belongs to you is not lost. The whole truth may be that you are being prepared, protected, or gently redirected. The universe does not rush because it does not work from panic. It works from wisdom. It sees what you cannot see. It knows what connections must form, what lessons must deepen, what healing must happen, what timing must open, what wrong paths must close, what right doors must be ready. This is why trust matters so much. Trust is what keeps the heart from collapsing in the middle of the process. Trust is what lets you breathe when you cannot yet explain what is happening. Trust is what lets you stop forcing life to move on your schedule and begin to honor the deeper rhythm that is unfolding. The rhythm of life is not always fast, but it is often exact. It knows when to move. It knows when to wait. It knows when more growth is needed before more blessing can safely arrive. There is no shame in wanting clarity. There is no shame in wanting movement. There is no shame in feeling tired of the unknown. But there is peace available when you stop asking every moment to prove itself right away. Peace begins when you let mystery exist without turning it into punishment. Peace begins when you stop saying, "If I cannot see it, it must not be happening." Peace begins when you say instead, "There may be more happening here than I understand." That one thought can bring great relief, because it makes room for hope without demanding perfect certainty. It makes room for trust without requiring complete answers. It makes room for rest in the middle of the unfinished. The truth that the universe is still working for you is not meant to make you passive. It is not meant to make you ignore real problems or avoid your own growth. It is meant to free you from hopelessness. It is meant to remind you that you are in relationship with life, not in battle with it. It is meant to help you act from peace instead of panic. When people feel unsupported, they often become desperate. They try to force outcomes, chase answers, cling to what is not meant for them, and exhaust themselves trying to make life obey fear. But when they remember that life may still be working in their favor, they become steadier. They listen more deeply. They choose more wisely. They stop rushing into places that do not feel true. They become open to guidance instead of trapped in reaction. There is also a healing power in understanding that not every closed door is rejection. Some closed doors are direction. Some are rescue. Some are saying, "Not here." Some are saying, "Not yet." Some are saying, "There is more for you than this." But when the mind is afraid, it sees every closed door as personal failure. It says, "I was not enough." It says, "I have been overlooked." It says, "This means nothing good is ahead." Yet later, how often do people look back and whisper, "Thank God that did not work out the way I wanted"? This happens because time reveals what fear could not. Time shows the hidden mercy. Time shows the protection inside the delay. Time shows that the universe was not being cruel. It was being wise. The main truth of this video is something the heart needs to hear again and again until it becomes a place of inner peace. You are not standing in an empty life. You are standing inside a living process. You are standing inside timing. You are standing inside growth. You are standing inside a larger unfolding. Even your confusion is happening inside something greater than confusion. Even your delay is happening inside something that still knows how to move. Even your questions are being held inside a life that has not forgotten your name, your need, your longing, or your path. The universe does not lose sight of you just because you lose sight of what is happening. When this truth begins to settle in the heart, something changes. The body softens a little. The mind becomes less sharp with fear. The soul stops bracing quite so hard. You begin to feel that maybe you do not have to solve everything alone. You begin to feel that maybe life is not attacking you. You begin to feel that maybe this chapter still holds movement, even if it is slow. And that softer inner state matters because a peaceful heart sees differently. It notices quiet signs. It hears guidance more clearly. It makes space for grace. It becomes less likely to run after what is wrong and more able to receive what is right. There is wisdom in saying to yourself, I may not see it yet, but I trust that something is still being worked out for me. These words are not an escape from reality. They are a way of staying open to a fuller reality. A reality in which not all good is visible at once. A reality in which timing matters. A reality in which life does not always answer with speed, but often answers with depth. A reality in which hidden movement is still movement. A reality in which your current view is not the whole picture. A reality in which care can be present even when clarity is not. So let this truth become a steady place inside you. When fear rises, return to it. When impatience rises, return to it. When sadness says nothing is happening, return to it. The universe is still working for you even now, in the background, in the silence, in the slow changes, in the lessons, in the releases, in the unseen healing, in the inner shifts, in the timing that has not yet fully opened. Life is not standing still just because you cannot yet measure its movement. The chapter is not over just because you do not yet understand it. There is more happening than you know. There is more support here than fear can see. There is more love moving in your life than doubt is able to admit. And perhaps this is the deepest part of the truth. You are allowed to rest even before the answer appears. You are allowed to breathe even before the outcome is clear. You are allowed to trust even before proof arrives. You are allowed to stop living as if every uncertain moment is an emergency. The universe is still working for you, even now. Let that truth be like a hand on your heart. Let it quiet the noise. Let it soften the rush. Let it remind you that what is real is not always immediate. What is good is not always loud, and what is working for you may already be closer than you think. One of the hardest things for the human heart is waiting. Waiting tests faith in a way that instant answers never do. When something good takes time, the mind begins to fill the silence with stories. It says, maybe nothing is coming. It says, maybe I am being passed over. It says, maybe life has gone quiet because I am no longer supported. This is what happens when delay is misunderstood. Instead of seeing it as part of a process, people often see it as a sign of rejection. Instead of seeing silence as space where something may still be forming, they see it as proof that nothing is listening. But delay is not always denial, and silence is not always emptiness. There are seasons when life becomes very quiet. No big signs, no clear movement, no answers you can hold in your hands. Just day after day of wondering, waiting, hoping, and trying not to lose heart. These are tender seasons because they bring out every fear that already lives inside the mind. If someone already fears being forgotten, silence will seem to confirm it. If someone already fears being unworthy, delay will seem to prove it. If someone already fears that life does not work for them, waiting will appear as evidence. But the deeper truth is that silence often reveals what we believe, not what reality has already decided. Silence can become a mirror. It shows us where fear still speaks loudly. It shows us where trust has room to grow. When life feels delayed, people often become restless. They try to speed things up. They overthink every detail. They read meaning into every small change. They look for answers everywhere. They become tense because they think if they can just figure out the reason for the delay, maybe they can finally feel safe. But safety does not always come from having answers. Sometimes it comes from learning how to stay soft inside the unanswered. Sometimes it comes from learning that waiting does not mean danger. Sometimes it comes from trusting that silence can still be full of movement, even if that movement is hidden. Think of how much in life develops in quiet places. A seed grows under the ground where no one can see it. A child forms in the hidden safety of the womb. The dawn begins before the sun shows itself. Even healing in the body often begins before the body fully feels different. Quiet has never meant empty. Hidden has never meant absent. The problem is that the mind likes visible proof. It wants to see the first green shoot before it trusts that life is active. It wants the final answer before it agrees to relax. But life asks for a deeper kind of trust. Life asks you to believe that movement can be real even before it is visible. This is especially difficult when you have been waiting a long time. A short delay can feel manageable, but a long one can and wear down the heart. After a while, hope begins to feel heavy. A person can start asking, how much longer? They may pray and then wonder if anyone is listening. They may try to stay positive and then feel guilty when the sadness returns. They may see others receiving what they long for and quietly ask, why not me? These feelings are deeply human. They do not make you weak. They do not make you faithless. They only show that you are tender, that you care, that your heart is involved. But even in that weariness, it is possible to remember something healing. Long waiting does not always mean lost waiting. Some things take longer because more is being arranged than you realize. Sometimes the timing of your life touches other lives, other events, other pieces that must come together at the right moment. Sometimes what you want is not wrong, but the time is not right yet. Sometimes you are being prepared to receive it in a healthier way. Sometimes what you think you want is slowly being turned into something even better. Sometimes you are being protected from getting something too early, before your heart is ready, before the path is safe, before the full blessing can stay. The mind rarely likes these thoughts because they require surrender. They require you to accept that you do not know everything. But peace begins there. There is a special pain in silence because silence leaves so much room for fear to speak. When there is no clear answer, fear quickly offers one. Fear says, the silence means no. Fear says, the delay means never. Fear says, this quiet means you are alone. But fear is not a wise interpreter of silence. Fear always reads silence in the darkest way. It does not wait. It does not wonder gently. It rushes to painful meaning. This is why it matters so much to guard the story you build in quiet seasons. If you let fear explain everything, you will suffer twice. Once from the uncertainty itself, and once from the harsh meaning you attach to it. A softer way to live is to meet silence with gentleness instead of judgment. Instead of saying, nothing is happening, you can say, I do not yet see what is happening. Instead of saying, I am being ignored, you can say, I am in a season I do not yet understand. Instead of saying, this delay means something is wrong with me, you can say, this delay may still hold wisdom. These are not empty words. They are ways of protecting your heart from false stories. They are ways of creating room for trust. They are ways of staying open to the truth that life may still be doing careful work, even when it looks quiet from the outside. When something you deeply long for has not arrived, it is easy to become hard inside. You begin to brace yourself. You say you do not care, even though you do. You stop expecting good because it feels safer not to hope. You tell yourself not to want too much, not to believe too much, not to trust too much. But closing the heart does not actually remove pain. It only adds distance. It may feel like protection, but often it becomes another kind of suffering. The heart was not made only to guard itself. It was also made to remain open to life, even in careful ways. This does not mean pretending you are not hurt. It means not letting hurt become your only truth. Delay also has a way of showing you what kind of relationship you have with control. Many people discover in waiting that they do not simply want an answer. They want certainty. They want to know how, when, where, and why. They want life to explain itself clearly and quickly. Yet much of life does not move that way. Life often asks you to trust before you fully understand. It asks you to keep your heart soft while details remain unknown. It asks you to walk by inner steadiness rather than full outer proof. This is not easy, but it is often where the deepest growth happens. Waiting can teach you how to live without forcing. Silence can teach you how to listen without panic. Delay can teach you how to rest without giving up. There is also another truth hidden inside delay. Sometimes the thing being prepared is not only outside you, but inside you. Perhaps patience is growing. Perhaps clarity is growing. Perhaps self-worth is growing. Perhaps peace is growing. Perhaps you are becoming less willing to settle for what is not right. Perhaps your heart is learning how to receive without fear. These inner changes matter. In fact, they often matter more than the outer result, because what arrives in your life will be shaped by the person you are when it arrives. A blessing received by a fearful heart feels different than a blessing received by a peaceful heart. Timing does not only concern the event, it also concerns the self that will meet the event. How often have people gotten what they wanted too soon, only to lose it because they were not ready to hold it? How often has something seemed delayed, only for it to arrive at a time that later made perfect sense? Human beings often judge timing too quickly. They say, now is right, because now feels urgent. But urgency is not the same as readiness. Urgency is often born from fear, loneliness, pressure, comparison, or exhaustion. Readiness is quieter. It is steadier. It does not grasp with the same panic. Life, in its deeper wisdom, often honors readiness more than urgency. This is why silence can be holy. It can be the space in which readiness deepens. If you are in a silent season, it may help to stop treating silence like an enemy. Silence is not always a closed door. Sometimes it is a room where your soul is being taught something important. Sometimes it is where old noise is falling away. Sometimes it is where you begin to hear what truly matters. Sometimes life becomes quiet because it is asking you to come closer, not because it has left. Loud seasons are easy to notice, but quiet seasons are often where real inner change happens. In quiet, illusions break. In quiet, truth becomes clearer. In quiet, You learn whether your peace depends only on quick results or whether it can rest in something deeper. There is so much pressure in the world to move fast, get fast results, and measure progress quickly. People are taught that if things are slow, something must be wrong. If answers do not come immediately, something must be broken. But nature does not live by panic, and your life does not have to either. The river does not rush to prove it is moving. The moon does not hurry to become full. The tree does not apologize for growing slowly. Life has rhythms, and so do you. Not everything that matters happens quickly. Some things need silence. Some things need time. Some things need an unseen season before they can emerge in truth. Maybe you have been asking for a sign, and maybe the sign has not come in the way you expected. But perhaps the sign is this: you are still here. You are still breathing. You are still being carried through days you thought might crush you. You are still being given chances to soften, to grow, to believe again. The universe may not always answer with the exact form you ask for in the exact moment you ask for it. But that does not mean you are unheard. Sometimes the answer begins as inner strength. Sometimes it begins as a new understanding. Sometimes it begins as the falling away of what no longer fits. Sometimes it begins as peace arriving before the outer answer does. This is why you do not have to panic in the delay. You do not have to decide that silence means failure. You do not have to turn waiting into proof of abandonment. Instead, you can let the waiting become a place of trust. You can say, even here, something may still be happening for me. You can say, even here, life may still be arranging what I cannot see. You can say, even here, I am not forgotten. These thoughts do not erase pain, but they change how pain is held. They bring breath back into the body. They bring softness back into the heart. They stop fear from becoming the only voice in the room. When life feels delayed or silent, what matters most is not that you force yourself into fake certainty. What matters is that you stay open to a kinder truth. Stay open to the idea that silence can still hold presence. Stay open to the idea that delay can still hold wisdom. Stay open to the idea that your life is not on pause just because the answer has not fully arrived. Things may be moving under the surface. Healing may be happening beneath awareness. Timing may be unfolding with care. Support may be arriving in forms you have not yet recognized. The universe is still working for you, even here, even in the quiet, even in the long pause, even now. And so, in this season, let your practice be gentle. When the mind says, nothing is happening, breathe and answer softly, I do not yet see all that is happening. When the heart says, I feel forgotten, place your hand over it and answer, I am still held. When the waiting feels heavy, remind yourself, Delay is not always denial. Silence is not always absence. The universe is still working for me, even now. Let these words become shelter. Let them steady you in the unfinished. Let them protect your inner peace until the day arrives when what was hidden becomes clear, and you look back and understand that even in the silence, even in the waiting, even in the delay, life was still moving with wisdom, with timing, and with love. One of the quiet reasons people suffer so deeply is not only because life feels hard, but because they are trying to hold every part of it together at the same time. They are trying to manage every outcome, predict every change, protect themselves from every pain, and make sure nothing goes wrong. The heart becomes tired when it lives this way. The mind becomes noisy. The body becomes tense. Even small problems begin to feel heavy when a person believes they must carry everything alone. This is what control often feels like. It does not always look strong. Many times it looks like fear wearing a brave face. It looks like overthinking. It looks like tension. It looks like trying to force peace by managing every detail. But peace cannot be forced. Peace begins when we stop gripping life so tightly and begin to trust that we are not carrying it alone. Control often feels safe at first. It tells you that if you plan enough, worry enough, and prepare for every possible outcome, then maybe you can avoid pain. It tells you that if you stay alert at all times, nothing will surprise you. It tells you that if you keep pushing, life will finally give you what you need. But after a while, control becomes exhausting. It asks more and more from you and gives less and less peace in return. It keeps your thoughts racing. It makes rest feel hard. It turns waiting into suffering. It makes the future feel like a problem you must solve right now. And when life does not obey all your effort, control often turns into frustration. It turns into fear. It turns into the painful feeling that if you cannot make everything happen, then maybe everything will fall apart. But life was never asking you to carry it that way. Life was never asking you to force every answer into place. Life was never asking you to solve tomorrow before today is over. There is a softer way to live. There is a wiser way to move. And that way begins with letting go of the need to control what is not yours to control. This does not mean becoming careless. It does not mean giving up. It does not mean refusing to take responsibility for your choices. It simply means learning the difference between what is yours to hold and what is not. Your choices are yours. Your honesty is yours. Your effort is yours. Your inner peace can be yours. But the timing of every result, the behavior of every person, the shape of every outcome, and the unfolding of every event does not belong fully in your hands. This truth can feel hard at first because many people have built their whole way of coping around control. If they feel afraid, they try to control. If they feel uncertain, they try to control. If they feel hurt, they try to control what happens next, so they never have to feel that pain again. But the more tightly they hold on, the less peace they feel. This is because life is not a machine that always responds to pressure. Life is a living process. It moves with timing, with change, with mystery, with rhythms that do not always match human fear. When you try to force that living process into a shape that makes you feel safe, you often create more struggle than peace. You begin fighting the very flow that could have carried you. Think about how tightly closed hands cannot receive. When the fists are clenched, they cannot hold anything gently. They can only grip. In the same way, a mind full of control has little room for trust. A heart full of fear has little room for peace. A spirit that is always bracing cannot easily feel grace. This is why letting go matters so much. Letting go is not loss. It is space. It is opening. It is allowing room for life to breathe again inside you. It is making space for the answer that force could not bring. It is making space for wisdom that panic cannot hear. It is making space for peace that control has kept outside the door. There is a difference between being responsible and being controlling. Responsibility is grounded. It says, I will do what is mine to do with honesty and care. Control is afraid. It says, I must make everything happen exactly as I want, or I will not be safe. Responsibility takes action and then breathes. Control takes action and then keeps pulling, fearing, checking, pushing, and doubting. Responsibility can rest after doing what it can. Control never feels finished because it does not trust anything larger than itself. That is why control drains the soul. It asks you to do the impossible. It asks you to run the whole universe from a tired mind and a fearful heart. No wonder so many people feel worn out. Letting go of control is one of the deepest spiritual acts because it is really an act of trust. It is the quiet choice to believe that life still knows how to move even when you stop forcing it. It is the quiet choice to believe that timing still exists even when you do not push. It is the quiet choice to believe that what is meant for you does not need panic to arrive. It is the quiet choice to believe that peace is not found through gripping, but through softening. When you let go, you are not saying, I do not care. You are saying, I care, but I refuse to destroy my peace trying to control what is beyond me. That is wisdom. That is strength. That is healing. Many people do not even notice how much control has taken over their inner life. They notice it only through the signs. The sign may be that they cannot rest. The sign may be that they replay the same thoughts all day. The sign may be that they keep trying to predict everything that could go wrong. The sign may be that they cannot enjoy the present because they are too busy trying to secure the future. The sign may be that they feel tight in their chest, tired in their body, or disconnected from peace. These are not small things. They are messages. They are showing you that the soul is asking for something softer. They are showing you that your inner life was not meant to feel like constant pressure. Imagine trying to hold water in your hands by squeezing it. The tighter you grip, the more it slips away. But when your hands are open and steady, water can rest there for a moment. Life works in a similar way. The tighter you squeeze, the more strain you create. The more desperate you become, the harder it is to hear guidance clearly. The more fear controls your choices, the less peace remains. But when you soften, when you loosen the grip, when you stop demanding that life move only in your chosen way, something changes. You begin to feel space. You begin to hear your own wisdom. You begin to notice that not everything needs to be forced. Some things arrive through openness. Some things come through patience. Some things appear only when fear stops filling the room. This is not always easy because letting go can feel like standing in uncertainty without the old shield of control. It can feel exposed. It can feel uncomfortable. It can feel like you are doing nothing, even when in truth you are doing something very powerful. You are allowing. You are trusting. You are making room for a deeper order to enter. You are learning how to stop wrestling with the flow of life. And that matters more than most people realize. Because often it is not the problem alone that hurts you. It is the way you tighten around the problem. It is the endless fight inside your own mind. It is the refusal to let the present moment be what it is while you take the next right step. There is a peace that only comes when you stop arguing with what you cannot currently change. This does not mean you approve of everything. It does not mean you stop growing. It does not mean you stop praying for better. It means you stop turning every hard moment into war. It means you stop fighting reality so harshly that you lose your center. It means you stop telling yourself that peace must wait until every detail is solved. Peace can begin before the solution. Peace can begin in the middle of uncertainty. Peace can begin the moment you stop demanding total control and begin to trust that life can still move wisely without all your fear. Sometimes you may need to say to yourself, I release the need to control what I cannot carry. These words are simple, but they can open something deep inside. They remind you that not everything belongs on your shoulders. They remind you that the future is not asking to be dragged into place. They remind you that the universe has its own movement, its own timing, its own intelligence. You are not the only force at work in your life. There is something greater moving with you. When you remember that, your breath deepens, your body softens, your mind becomes less loud. You stop acting like every unanswered question is an emergency. The need to control often grows strongest in the places where trust was once broken. Maybe life did not go the way you hoped. Maybe someone disappointed you. Maybe you learned early that uncertainty felt unsafe. Maybe pain taught you to stay on guard. If so, be gentle with yourself. Control is often a way the heart tries to protect itself after being hurt. It is not something to hate in yourself. It is something to understand, to soften, and eventually to loosen. The answer is not shame. The answer is compassion. The answer is learning, slowly, that you do not need to live with your hands clenched forever. The answer is learning that safety can return through trust, not only through tension. When you let go of control, you begin to return to the present moment. And the present moment is where your life actually is. Not in the 10 future problems your mind is inventing. Not in the endless stories of what might happen. Not in the pain of trying to make tomorrow behave. Life is here. Breath is here. Wisdom is here. The next step is here. This moment may not contain every answer, but it contains enough for now. It contains the chance to soften. It contains the chance to stop pushing. It contains the chance to trust one little bit more than you did before. That is enough. You do not need to control the whole path. You only need enough peace to walk the next part of it. And when you live this way, something beautiful begins to happen. You stop chasing every answer with panic. You stop trying to fix every feeling immediately. You stop making fear the leader of your inner life. Instead, you begin to partner with life. You begin to notice what feels true. You begin to respond rather than react. You begin to receive rather than only strain. You begin to understand that the deepest strength is not always in forcing, but in relaxing into trust. The universe is still working for you, even now, and it does not need your fear to do that work. It asks for your openness. It asks for your willingness. It asks for your softening. When you let go of control, you do not fall apart. You begin to come back together in a gentler way. And in that gentler way, life has room to meet you. One of the most comforting truths you can remember in a hard season is that just because you cannot see movement does not mean movement has stopped. There is work happening in your life that may still be hidden from view. There is healing that may still be happening beneath the surface. There are changes taking shape that have not yet shown their full form. The human mind often trusts only what it can point to. It wants signs, proof, visible change, clear results. But life has always done some of its most important work in secret places. The roots grow before the tree rises. The dawn begins before the sky becomes bright. The seed breaks open in darkness before anything reaches the light. Hidden work is still work. Unseen progress is still progress. This matters because so many people give up hope too early. They decide that because they cannot yet see results, nothing good is happening. They decide that because the answer is not in front of them, the answer does not exist. They decide that because life is quiet, life must be inactive. But what if the quiet is full? What if the hidden season is not empty at all? What if more is happening than your present eyes can recognize? This is often the case. Beneath the surface of your life, things may still be shifting. Old patterns may be breaking. New strength may be forming. Connections may be moving. Timing may be aligning. What needs to leave may be leaving. What needs to come may be finding its way. And all of it may be happening before you can fully name it. There are times when life appears still from the outside, but inside everything is being rearranged. Your understanding may be deepening. Your heart may be softening. Your standards may be changing. Your spirit may be growing tired of what no longer belongs to you. Your inner world may be preparing for a new chapter before the outer world reveals it. These quiet shifts matter more than people often realize, because outer change often rests on inner change. What becomes possible in your life tomorrow may depend on what is quietly becoming true inside you today. If you only look for visible proof, you may miss the deeper preparation already taking place. Think about how many times in life something seemed stuck, only for you later to realize that much was happening behind the scenes. The answer did not come when you demanded it, but it came after things aligned. The path did not open when you were panicking, but it opened after some hidden change made the way clear. The relationship, the work, the peace, the healing, the direction, none of it arrived when you were measuring every moment. But later, looking back, you could see that many invisible things had to happen first. This is why you must be careful not to judge the whole story from one quiet moment. A still moment does not define the whole season. A hidden process does not mean a broken process. Life may be doing careful work that cannot yet be rushed into sight. There is also hidden work happening in the way pain changes you. Even in seasons you would never choose, something can be shaped within you that later becomes strength, wisdom, softness, or truth. This does not mean pain is always good. It does not mean every hard moment should be celebrated. But it does mean that difficult seasons are not always empty. They can contain growth. They can contain clearing. They can contain awakening. They can contain a new relationship with yourself. Sometimes life works for you first by changing what is no longer healthy inside you. It loosens old fears. It reveals old wounds. It shows you where you have been settling, hiding, rushing, or doubting your own worth. That inner work can feel quiet, but it changes everything. When hidden work is happening, it often feels like not much at all. It may feel like a pause. It may feel like things have slowed down. It may feel like you are being asked to wait without clear reason. It may feel like a season of rest, confusion, or silence. But hidden seasons are often sacred seasons. They are seasons where life protects what is not yet ready to be exposed. A seed is not weak because it is underground. It is not delayed because it has not broken the soil yet. It is doing what it must do in the place where real beginning happens. In the same way, your life may be developing in places too deep for quick proof. That does not make the work less real. It makes it more foundational. Many people underestimate the power of what is happening beneath the surface because it does not impress the world. Quiet healing does not always get applause. Slow growth does not always look dramatic. Inner change cannot always be measured in obvious ways, but these are often the changes that last. A heart that learns peace carries that peace into every part of life. A soul that learns trust moves differently in every season. A person who becomes clear about their worth stops accepting what drains them. A mind that learns to soften stops making fear its home. These changes may begin invisibly, but they shape the life you are building in powerful ways. Sometimes hidden work is happening not only within you, but around you. The right timing may not yet be ready. The right door may still be forming. The right people may still be moving into place. The right ending may still need to happen before the right beginning can arrive. The universe often works through patterns much larger than your current moment. It sees what must connect. It sees what must fall away. It sees what must ripen. It sees what cannot yet be forced without losing its beauty. And because you cannot see all of that, it can be tempting to believe nothing is moving. But something may be moving very deeply, very quietly, very exactly. This is why high trust becomes so important in hidden seasons. Trust helps you stay open while the work remains unseen. Trust helps you resist the urge to tear up the soil just to check if the seed is growing. Trust helps you stop judging the process too soon. Trust lets you breathe in the middle of becoming. Without trust, people often interrupt their own growth. They rush, they panic, they grab at what is not ready. They return to what they have outgrown. They speak hopelessness over a process that is still alive. But trust protects what is growing. Trust gives life room. Trust says, even if I cannot yet see it, I believe something real is still happening for me. There are moments when your only task is to keep your heart open enough to let hidden work continue. Not by forcing, not by overthinking, not by trying to solve every mystery, but by staying available to life, by breathing, by listening, by resting when needed, by releasing what is clearly no longer yours, by not deciding too soon that the silence means failure. This kind of openness is not laziness, it is participation in a deeper kind of process. It is the choice to honor the unseen. It is the choice to believe that not all true progress makes noise. It is the choice to live with patience while something meaningful ripens in the dark. How often do people miss the beauty of a process because they are too focused on the result? They do not notice the wisdom they are gaining. They do not notice the inner strength being formed. They do not notice the old fear losing its grip. They do not notice that they are becoming someone more honest, more steady, more open, more alive. They are so busy asking when the answer will come that they do not see who they are becoming while they wait. But that becoming matters. It may even be part of the answer. The universe may still be working for you by growing the very qualities that will allow you to receive your next chapter with peace instead of fear. Sometimes the hidden work is simply this: your life is being cleared. What is false is falling away. What is forced is weakening. What is no longer aligned is losing its power over you. This clearing can feel uncomfortable because it often looks like endings, pauses, or uncertainty. But clearing is holy work. Space must exist before something new can land. A room full of old things cannot easily receive what truly belongs there. In the same way, a life crowded with fear, old stories, wrong attachments, or tired patterns may first need space. That space may look empty at first. But emptiness is not always loss. Sometimes it is preparation. And sometimes hidden work is happening in your spirit in ways you only notice later. Later, you realize you became less reactive. Later, you realize you stopped begging for what was not right. Later, you realize you no longer needed the same kind of approval. Later, you realize you trusted yourself more. Later, you realize peace came more naturally than before. These things do not always happen in one bright moment. They happen quietly. They happen one breath at a time. They happen while life seems ordinary. Yet these inner changes are miracles in their own way. They show that something profound was taking place all along. If you are in a season where not much seems visible, do not rush to call it nothing. Be careful with that word. What looks like nothing may be the place where deep roots are growing. What looks like nothing may be the place where the next chapter is being built. What looks like nothing may be the place where the universe is making quiet adjustments for your good. You do not need to see every part of it for it to be real. You do not need to understand the whole pattern for it to be working. You only need enough trust to stay open while the hidden work continues. So let yourself rest in this truth. Unseen does not mean forgotten. Hidden does not mean lost. Slow does not mean wrong. Quiet does not mean empty. The universe is still working for you, even in the places you cannot yet name. It is working in the background. It is working in the small shifts. It is working in the clearing, the healing, the timing, the unseen movement, the inner changes, and the gentle preparation of what is still becoming. Let that truth soften your fear. Let it steady your waiting. Let it remind you that life is not standing still just because it is working in silence. Something is moving. Something is forming. Something is being made ready, even now. There are moments in life when the pain is not only about what happened, but about what it seems to mean. A disappointment can begin to whisper, "You have been forgotten." A delay can begin to whisper, "You are alone in this." A hard season can begin to whisper, "Life has turned away from you." And if those whispers go unchallenged, they sink deep into the heart. A person may still keep moving through their days, but inwardly they begin to feel left behind. They begin to feel unsupported. They begin to feel as if the goodness they once believed in is no longer near. But this is the truth your heart needs to hear with great tenderness. The universe has not left you. Even now, in the middle of what you do not understand, you are still being held. You may not feel held every moment. You may not feel guided every day. You may not feel peace right now. But your feelings, though real, are not always the full measure of what is true. Sometimes pain becomes so loud that it covers the softer signals of support. Sometimes disappointment becomes so heavy that it blocks your ability to sense how deeply life is still with you. But the sun still exists even when clouds cover it. The path still exists even when fog hides it. In the same way, support still exists even when your mind cannot fully feel it. Guidance still exists even when the next step is not clear. Love still exists even when your heart is tired. Many people believe that if life loved them, they would never have to go through hard things. They believe that being guided should mean always being comfortable, always being certain, always being protected from sorrow. But that is not how life works. Being held does not mean every road is easy. Being guided does not mean every answer comes quickly. Being loved does not mean you will never feel grief, confusion, or loss. Sometimes being held means you are given strength for the day instead of an instant solution. Sometimes being guided means a door closes before you can walk through the wrong one. Sometimes being loved means life refuses to give you what would have harmed you, even when part of you wanted it badly. This is why you must be careful not to mistake difficulty for abandonment. A hard season does not prove that life has stopped caring for you. A quiet season does not prove that you are alone. An unanswered prayer does not prove that no one heard you. There may be more mercy in this moment than you can currently see. There may be protection hidden inside what feels like delay. There may be care hidden inside what feels like loss. There may be wisdom hidden inside what feels like confusion. The universe has not left you simply because this chapter feels heavy. It may be holding you in ways you will understand only later. You are not behind in the eyes of life. You are not forgotten in the larger order of things. You are not too late for your own becoming. These fears are common when the heart is tired. People look at their age, their timing, their mistakes, their losses, and they begin to believe that somehow they have fallen outside the reach of goodness. They believe they missed the moment. They believe they ruined the path. They believe they are standing too far away for grace to find them now. But life is not so fragile. The universe is not so limited. There is still room for healing. There is still room for right timing. There is still room for beauty to enter the places you thought had closed forever. Even if you have made mistakes, the universe has not left you. Even if you stayed too long where you were not meant to stay, the universe has not left you. Even if you ignored your own heart, doubted yourself, chose from fear, or lost your way for a while, the universe has not left you. Life does not respond to your imperfect journey by turning its back on you. Life keeps inviting you forward. Life keeps offering moments of return. Life keeps placing chances for healing, insight, and new beginning in front of you. You may not notice all of them at first, but they are there. The door back to yourself is not locked. The path of trust is not gone. The possibility of peace is not over. Sometimes what you need most is not a dramatic sign, but a soft reminder that you are still connected to something greater than your fear. You are still part of life's living movement. You are still inside a universe that knows how to guide, soften, restore, and renew. Even now, your breath comes and goes without your having to force it. Even now, morning still arrives. Even now, your heart still reaches for meaning, for peace, for truth. These are not small things. They are reminders that life is still moving through you. You are not outside its care. You are not separate from its rhythm. You are still within the field of its quiet support. There are times when guidance does not come as a full answer. It may come as a feeling. It may come as a pause that stops you from rushing. It may come as an inner knowing that something is off. It may come as the strength to say no. It may come as the peace to wait. It may come as the slow understanding that you deserve better than what once felt normal. Guidance is not always loud. In fact, it is often very gentle. But gentleness does not make it weak. A quiet nudge can change a whole life. A small shift in the heart can open a very different future. The universe has many ways of guiding you, and not all of them look dramatic. The same is true of support. Support does not always appear as immediate rescue. Sometimes it appears as endurance. Sometimes it appears as calm in the middle of fear. Sometimes it appears as someone kind arriving at the right moment. Sometimes it appears as the energy to begin again after feeling broken. Sometimes it appears as the truth finally becoming too clear to keep denying. Support can be quiet. It can be steady. it can be woven into ordinary moments. If you expect support to show up only in grand ways, you may miss the small, faithful ways it has been carrying you all along. If you have been feeling alone, let these words reach the quiet place inside you that still hopes to be comforted. You are not doing this life by yourself. You may feel tired. You may feel unsure. You may feel like you have been walking through fog. But even in fog, the ground remains beneath your feet. Even in fog, the path does not disappear. It only becomes harder to see all at once. Life may be asking you to trust one step at a time. Not the whole path, not the full answer. Just the next honest step, just the next soft breath, just the next moment of willingness to believe that you are still being guided. Maybe the deepest wound many people carry is the belief that they are on their own, that everything depends on them, that if they cannot force a solution, then they will be left in darkness. But you were never meant to live as if the whole universe rested only on your shoulders. You were never meant to turn your heart into a battlefield of constant pressure. You were never meant to believe that support must be earned through endless struggle. There is a deeper kindness available to you. There is a way of living that says, I will do my part, but I will also let myself be helped by life. That is not weakness. That is partnership. That is trust. That is a more peaceful way to live. It may help you to say softly to yourself, I am still guided. I am still supported. I am still safe to trust life. These words are not magic tricks. They are reminders. They are ways of returning to truth when fear becomes too loud. They help the body soften. They help the mind stop racing for a moment. They help the heart remember that one hard chapter does not cancel the care that still surrounds it. You may need to repeat them many times. That is all right. The heart often needs to hear gentle truth more than once before it can fully rest in it. There is no shame in needing reassurance. There is no shame in needing to be reminded that life has not left you. Human beings forget. Human beings become frightened. Human beings look at a difficult moment and believe it speaks for the whole future. This is why reminders matter. This is why gentle truth matters. This is why you must return again and again to what is deeper than fear. The universe has not left you, not in your confusion, not in your delay, not in your healing, not in your uncertainty, not in your tears, not in your unfinished becoming. You are still seen. You are still carried. You are still part of a living process that has not ended with this moment. And perhaps you do not need to know more than that right now. Perhaps you do not need the full explanation today. Perhaps what your soul needs most is simply the relief of knowing that this hard moment is not proof of abandonment. It is not proof that you are unloved. It is not proof that all good has passed you by. The universe is still with you. It is still working for you. It is still holding open paths you cannot yet see. It is still guiding your life through timing, through insight, through slow change, through quiet protection, through hidden preparation, through love that is deeper than appearances. So when fear rises and says, "You are alone," answer gently, "No, I am still held." When sadness says, "Life has turned away," answer softly, "No, life is still with me." When delay says, "You have been forgotten," answer with calm, "No, the universe has not left me." Let those words become a shelter in you. Let them become a place where your tired heart can rest. Let them become a truth strong enough to outlast the passing voice of fear. Because even now, especially now, when you most need to remember it, the universe has not left you. It is still near. It is still working. It is still carrying you forward, one breath, one moment, one unseen act of grace at a time. Imagine for a moment that you are standing beside a quiet river. The water is calm, steady, and always moving. It does not rush in panic. It does not stop in fear. It simply keeps flowing, finding its way around every stone, every bend, every place where the path seems blocked. The river does not argue with the shape of the land. It does not demand that every turn be straight. It trusts its own movement. It trusts that it will keep going. And in many ways, life is like that river. Even when you feel stuck on the shore, even when your mind is full of questions, the deeper flow of life is still moving. It is still carrying wisdom. It is still carrying healing. It is still carrying your story forward. So often, people live as if they must drag the river. They act as if life will only move if they force it. They tighten around every problem. They watch every delay with fear. They become afraid of every quiet moment. But the river teaches something softer. It teaches that movement does not always look dramatic. It teaches that flow does not need noise to be real. It teaches that there is strength in gentleness. There is power in steady movement. There is wisdom in trusting that not every turn needs to be understood before you continue. The river does not know every detail of the path ahead in the way the human mind wants to know, but it still moves. It still trusts the pull forward. It still reaches where it needs to go. Now imagine yourself standing at the edge of that river with your hands full of heavy stones. Each stone carries something you have been holding. One may be fear about the future. One may be sadness from the past. One may be the pressure to have everything figured out. One may be the pain of waiting. One may be the belief that you must force life to work. Feel the weight of those stones for a moment. Feel how long you have been carrying them. Feel what they have done to your body, your breath, your heart. And then notice that the river is not asking you to carry them forever. It is simply asking you to release them. One by one, imagine placing those stones into the water, not throwing them in anger, not rejecting them with shame, just letting them go gently. Let the first stone fall. Watch the water receive it. Let the second stone fall, then the third. With each release, your hands grow lighter, your chest softens, your breath deepens. You begin to feel something many people forget is possible: relief. Not because every question is answered, but because you are no longer gripping everything so tightly. The river does not ask you to solve what it already knows how to carry. It simply asks for your willingness to loosen your hold. Now imagine stepping into the river itself. The water is warm and calm. It reaches your feet first, then your legs, then gently lifts around you. You do not have to fight it. You do not have to swim against it. You do not have to control where every current goes. You only have to allow yourself to be held for a moment. This is what trust can feel like. It is not always dramatized. See, it is not always loud. Sometimes it is simply the feeling that you do not have to do all of this alone. Sometimes it is the feeling that there is a deeper intelligence in life than fear can understand. Sometimes it is the quiet knowing that you can stop fighting for one moment and let yourself be carried. The river keeps moving, and as it moves, you notice something important. It does not avoid every rock by force. It flows around what it cannot go through. It adjusts without losing itself. It changes direction without losing purpose. This is one of the deepest lessons life offers. Just because something does not happen in the exact way you expected does not mean your path is broken. Just because life turns does not mean it has lost direction. Sometimes the turn is the wisdom. Sometimes the delay is the protection. Sometimes the slower path is the path that saves you from pain you cannot yet see. The river trusts the curve, and perhaps your soul can learn to trust some of the curves in your life too. As you float in this quiet image, let yourself feel what it means to stop forcing for a moment. Feel what it means to be supported by something you cannot fully control. Feel what it means to trust movement even when you cannot see the end of the river. You do not need to know every turn. You do not need to understand every bend. You do not need to see the whole destination to know that life is still carrying you somewhere meaningful. That is one of the hardest truths for the mind and one of the most healing truths for the heart. The mind wants maps. The heart can learn to trust movement. This simple image matters because many people have forgotten what it feels like to relax into life. They know how to brace, they know how to plan, they know how to worry, they know how to replay old pain and fear new pain before it happens. But they do not always remember how to soften. They do not always remember how to feel supported. They do not always remember that the same life that moves rivers, opens flowers, turns night into morning, and carries seasons forward is also moving through them. You are not separate from that wisdom. You are not cut off from that flow. The same deep life that knows how to move the world also knows how to guide your soul. If the mind begins to say, "But what if I let go and everything falls apart?" return to the river. Watch how it keeps moving. Watch how it holds what enters it. Watch how it does not need panic to continue. You are not being asked to stop caring. You are not being asked to stop living. You are not being asked to become passive. You are being asked to trust that life can still move even when you are not straining every moment. You are being asked to remember that peace is not something you must earn by controlling everything. Peace becomes possible when you stop treating every unknown as danger. There is also something beautiful in the way the river receives without judgment. When you place the stones into it, the river does not ask why you held them for so long. It does not shame you for your fear. It does not tell you that you should have trusted sooner. It simply receives what you are ready to release. Life can be like that too. The universe is not standing over you with anger because you have been afraid. It is not turning away because you have struggled to trust. It is not punishing you for being human. It is still there, still flowing, still ready to carry what you no longer need to hold alone. So when your heart feels tight, return to this image. See the river, hear its gentle movement, feel the steady flow. Imagine your fears as stones. Imagine your body softening as you release them. Imagine the water lifting you just enough to remind you that you are not alone in this life. Let this image become a place of return for you, a place where your breathing slows, a place where your thoughts stop racing for a while, a place where trust becomes easier than fear, a place where you remember that even now, even here, the universe is still moving, still guiding, still carrying, and still working for you. There is great power in the words you repeat to yourself, especially in moments when fear is trying to take over. Many people do not realize how often they speak worry into their own hearts. They say things like, "Nothing is working. I am too late. I do not know what to do. Maybe it will never change." And after a while, those words begin to feel like truth. The mind listens to what it hears again and again. The heart absorbs the tone you speak in. The body responds to the stories you repeat. This is why gentle, steady words matter. Not because words alone solve every problem, but because they shape the inner space from which you live. They can calm the noise. They can soften fear. They can help your spirit return to trust. When life feels uncertain, you do not always need a long answer. Sometimes you need one simple sentence you can come home to. One soft truth that holds you in the middle of what you do not understand. One line that reminds you that fear is not the only voice available. These words become anchors. They give the mind something kinder to rest on. They give the heart something steadier to believe. They help create a quiet inner place where peace can begin again. In difficult moments, this matters more than many people think. A gentle sentence repeated with sincerity can shift the whole feeling of a moment. You might begin with this: the universe is still working for me. Say it slowly. Let every word settle. Not only when life looks good, not only when things are easy. Right now, in this unfinished moment, the universe is still working for me. These words do not ask you to pretend you understand everything. They do not ask you to deny what hurts. They simply remind you that what is hidden may still be holy, and what is quiet may still be moving. They remind you that support does not disappear just because the answer is not yet visible. Another simple truth you can repeat is, I trust what I cannot yet see. This sentence is powerful because so much fear begins in what cannot yet be seen. The future is unseen. The answer is unseen. The timing is unseen. The hidden work is unseen. And because it is unseen, the mind often fills that space with worry. But this sentence changes the feeling of that space. I trust what I cannot yet see. It does not mean you know every detail. It means you are choosing not to hand the unknown over to fear. It means you are allowing mystery without turning it into punishment. It means you are making room for life to still be good, even before proof arrives. You may also want to say, everything is unfolding in the right time. Many people suffer because they think life must happen on the schedule of their worry. They feel behind. They compare themselves. They think something has gone wrong because they have not yet arrived where they hoped to be. But life has seasons. Healing has seasons. Change has seasons. Readiness has seasons. Everything is unfolding in the right time is not an excuse to stop living. It is a way of releasing the pressure that says you must force the fruit before it is ripe. It is a way of remembering that late is not always late in the deeper order of life. Sometimes what feels delayed is simply ripening. Another beautiful sentence is, I am guided, supported, and safe. These words speak directly to the nervous system, to the part of you that becomes tense in uncertainty. So much control comes from the fear of not being safe. So much panic begins when the mind feels alone. But when you say, I am guided, supported, and safe, you are giving yourself a new message. You are telling your inner world that life has not left you. You are reminding your body that it does not need to stay in battle every moment. You are telling your heart that help may still be present, even if it has not yet appeared in the form you expected. It can also help to say, I release what I cannot carry. Many people try to carry things that were never meant to live on their shoulders. They carry tomorrow before it arrives. They carry the choices of other people. They carry every possible outcome. They carry old pain into new moments. This sentence gives permission to loosen the load. I release what I cannot carry. It does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop treating yourself as if you must hold the entire world together. It means you begin to trust that some things belong in larger hands than your own. It means you allow your spirit to breathe again. There is another gentle truth that can help in long waiting seasons. What is meant for me will not miss me. This sentence brings so much peace because it loosens the fear that everything depends on one moment, one chance, one perfect move. Fear says, if I do not get it exactly right, it will all be lost. Trust says, what is real for me will find its way. That does not mean you do nothing. It means you stop living as if one wrong step will destroy all possibility. It means you begin to believe that life is not so fragile, and that what truly belongs with you does not need panic to survive. You may also return to this sentence when your heart feels tired. I am still held in this moment. Sometimes the pain of life becomes too large because the mind leaves the present and runs far ahead. It imagines every future fear. It replays every past wound. It builds stories about what may never happen. But this sentence returns you to now. I am still held in this moment. Even if the future is not clear, this moment can still hold breath. This moment can still hold ground beneath your feet. This moment can still hold a little peace. Sometimes healing begins by returning to one moment at a time. These words do not need to be spoken in a perfect voice. You do not need to force yourself to feel them fully the first time. You may whisper them while still feeling uncertain. You may say them through tears. You may repeat them while part of you still doubts. That is all right. You are not taking a test. You are planting seeds. You are offering your heart a new language. You are giving your inner world something softer to grow around. Over time, repeated words begin to change the atmosphere within you. Fear may still visit, but it no longer owns the whole room. Trust begins to have a place to sit. It can help to speak these words in simple moments. When you wake in the morning, before the noise of the day begins, place your hand on your heart and say one of them softly. When the mind begins racing during the day, pause and repeat one line again. When the night feels heavy, let one sentence become the last thing you give your heart before sleep. These small moments matter. Repetition matters. The soul learns gently. Peace grows slowly. Trust deepens through return. The more you come back to these truths, the more natural they begin to feel. Here are a few words you can keep close. The universe is still working for me. I trust what I cannot yet see. Everything is unfolding in the right time. I am guided, supported, and safe. I release what I cannot carry. What is meant for me will not miss me. I am still held in this moment. Do not rush through them. Let them become companions. Let them become soft doors back into peace. Let them interrupt the old habits of fear. Let them remind you again and again that you are not abandoned in this life. You are not moving through random darkness alone. You are part of something deeper, kinder, and wiser than panic. And every time you choose a gentle truth instead of a fearful story, you help your own heart remember what has been true all along. The universe is still working for you, even now. There comes a moment in every difficult season when you begin to realize that fear has been speaking for too long. Fear may still be there, but you no longer want it to lead your life. You begin to see how fear colors everything. It turns waiting into punishment. It turns silence into rejection. It turns slow growth into failure. It turns one closed door into the belief that all doors are closing. Fear does not know how to be patient. It does not know how to stay soft. It does not know how to trust what it cannot control. And if you let it lead for too long, it will pull you away from your own peace. Fear often sounds urgent. That is why so many people mistake it for wisdom. It says, act now. It says, fix this immediately. It says, if you do not figure everything out, something terrible will happen. It fills the body with tension. It fills the mind with endless questions. It makes the future feel like a threat instead of an unfolding. But trust speaks differently. Trust is quieter. Trust does not shout over your heart. It says, breathe. It says, you do not have to solve everything in this moment. It says, there is still a larger movement happening here. Trust does not make life perfect, but it changes the way you walk through imperfection. It gives you steadiness where fear only gives pressure. Choosing trust does not mean fear disappears forever. It means fear is no longer the voice you obey every time it speaks. It means you begin to notice it without surrendering your whole life to it. It means you can feel uncertainty and still soften your shoulders. You can feel sadness and still believe there is goodness ahead. You can feel confused and still trust that clarity will come. This is a very different way of living. It is a way of living that honors human feeling without making fear the final truth. It says, yes, I feel afraid, but I do not have to build my whole future around that feeling. That is a powerful shift. Many people think trust should feel dramatic, like a sudden perfect peace that never moves. But often trust is much simpler than that. Trust is the choice to take one honest breath instead of feeding panic. Trust is the choice to pause instead of reacting. Trust is the choice to speak gently to yourself in a moment when fear wants harshness. Trust is the choice to stop reading every difficult moment as a sign that you are doomed. Trust is the choice to remember that one hard day is not the whole story. It is built in small moments. It is built one decision at a time. It is built every time you return to what is deeper than fear. when fear leads, life becomes very small. The mind tightens around problems. The heart braces against disappointment. The body stays ready for danger, even when no danger is present in the room. You stop noticing beauty. You stop feeling support. You stop trusting your own inner wisdom. You live as if peace can only come after every uncertainty disappears. But uncertainty is part of life. If you wait for complete certainty before allowing peace, you may wait forever. Trust lets peace begin before certainty is complete. It lets you rest even while some questions remain. It lets you keep your heart open while the answer is still on its way. This matters because the state of your inner life shapes how you meet everything else. A fearful heart sees the world through threat. A trusting heart sees the world through possibility. A fearful mind rushes into the future and imagines loss. A trusting mind returns to the present and listens for what is true now. A fearful spirit tries to force life to obey. A trusting spirit learns how to move with life instead of against it. This does not mean trust makes every path easy. It means trust changes the way the path feels beneath your feet. It brings calm where there was pressure. It brings breath where there was tightness. It brings space where fear had crowded the whole room. There is also a kind of wisdom that only arrives when you are calm enough to hear it. Fear is loud, fast, and dramatic. Wisdom is often quiet. Fear demands immediate answers. Wisdom often speaks through gentle knowing. Fear pushes you toward action that comes from panic. Wisdom guides you toward action that comes from clarity. This is why trust matters so much. Trust creates the inner calm where wisdom can rise. When you stop feeding fear every moment, you begin to hear more clearly what your soul has been trying to tell you. You begin to notice what feels right and what does not. You begin to sense where peace lives and where it does not. You begin to move from a deeper place inside yourself. Choosing trust also changes what you become available to receive. A fearful mind is so busy protecting itself that it often cannot recognize grace when it comes. It doubts good things. It expects disappointment. It closes before life has a chance to arrive. But trust opens. Trust makes room. Trust does not demand that the blessing arrive in exactly one form. It allows goodness to come in ways you did not expect. It allows help to be recognized. It allows timing to be honored. It allows the heart to remain soft enough to receive love, peace, and change when they finally reach the door. This is not about pretending fear does not exist. Fear is part of being human. It visits everyone. But fear is not meant to become your home. It is not meant to become your leader, your teacher, and your way of seeing everything. You can notice fear and still choose something deeper. You can hear fear and still turn toward trust. You can feel doubt and still whisper, life is still working for me. These choices matter. They may seem small, but they shape the energy of your life. They shape how you wake up, how you wait, how you speak to yourself, how you move through the unknown. If you need a simple question to guide you, ask yourself this: what would trust do in this moment? Not for the rest of your life, just in this moment. Would trust take one slow breath? Would trust stop replaying the same fear? Would trust rest for a little while instead of trying to solve everything tonight? Would trust release the need to know every answer right now? Would trust choose kindness over pressure? This question can become a beautiful practice. It returns you to the present. It helps you make room for wisdom. It reminds you that peace is built in moments, not only in final outcomes. There is a softness that enters your life when you stop asking fear to protect you from every unknown. Fear was never going to give you lasting peace. At best, it can give temporary control, temporary vigilance, temporary effort. But trust gives something deeper. Trust gives openness. Trust gives steadiness. Trust gives a wider view. Trust allows life to still feel alive, even when not everything is clear. Trust does not close the heart to avoid pain. It strengthens the heart so it can stay open in a world that is still unfolding. So if you have been living under the rule of fear, be gentle with yourself. You do not have to break that habit in one perfect day. You do not have to become suddenly fearless. You only have to begin choosing differently, one moment at a time. One breath, one sentence, one pause, one softer thought, one act of release. Let trust become your new direction, even if you still feel shaky at first. Let it begin quietly. Let it grow naturally. Let it teach your body that it is safe to soften. Let it teach your heart that it is still possible to hope without forcing. Let it teach your soul that life is not your enemy. And as you keep choosing trust, something begins to change within you. The mind loses some of its sharpness. The body holds less tension. The heart becomes less afraid of tomorrow. You begin to notice signs of support that fear would have missed. You begin to feel less like a person fighting life and more like a person moving with it. That is a sacred shift. That is a real miracle. Because when fear stops leading, peace finally has room to enter. And in that peaceful space, it becomes easier to remember the truth that has been waiting for you all along. The universe is still working for you, even now. Take a slow breath now and let everything you have heard settle gently into your heart. You do not need to force yourself to understand all of it at once. You do not need to turn these words into perfect belief in one moment. Just let them rest within you. Let them become a quiet place of comfort. Let them remind the tired part of you that this moment is not the whole story. Let them remind the fearful part of you that silence is not the same as absence. Let them remind the hopeful part of you that it is still allowed to stay open. If life has felt heavy, let this be a soft place where you stop carrying it all by yourself for a little while. If your mind has been racing, let this be a place where the thoughts can finally slow down. If your heart has been asking whether anything good is still moving for you, let the answer come gently and clearly. Yes, even now, something loving is still working in your life. Even now, there is movement beneath what seems still. Even now, there is guidance beneath what seems confusing. Even now, there is care beneath what feels uncertain. You do not have to chase what is truly yours. You do not have to control every detail to be supported. You do not have to figure everything out tonight. Some answers come when the mind gets quiet. Some doors open when the heart stops forcing. Some blessings arrive when there is finally enough peace in you to receive them without fear. Life knows how to move. Life knows how to guide. Life knows how to bring things together in ways the worried mind cannot always imagine. You are allowed to rest inside that truth. If you have been feeling behind, hear this clearly. You are not behind in your own becoming. If you have been feeling forgotten, hear this clearly. You are not forgotten. If you have been feeling alone, hear this clearly. You are not alone. The universe has not left you in this season. It has not turned away because the road became hard. It has not grown silent because you no longer matter. You are still included in life's deeper care. You are still part of the unfolding. You are still being carried through a chapter that is not yet finished. Maybe today the only thing you can do is breathe and trust a little. That is enough. Maybe today you can only release one fear instead of all of them. That is enough. Maybe today you can only whisper one soft sentence to yourself instead of feeling fully at peace. That is enough too. Healing is not built in one giant leap. Trust is not built in one perfect moment. It grows little by little. It grows each time you choose not to let fear explain everything. It grows each time you remember that hidden does not mean absent. It grows each time you allow yourself to rest without giving up. Let your heart hear these words one more time. The universe is still working for you, even now. In the waiting, in the quiet, in the delay, in the hidden work, in the healing you cannot yet measure, in the changes taking shape beneath the surface, in the small strength returning to your spirit, in the softening of your fear, in the quiet rise of trust. It is all still moving. It is all still part of something larger than what you can see from this one moment. Tonight or today, wherever you are as these words reach you, Allow yourself to loosen your shoulders. Allow your breath to deepen. Allow your heart to rest in something gentler than pressure. You do not need to wrestle with every unknown. You do not need to prove your worth through struggle. You do not need to force the next chapter open with fear. Let life meet you. Let peace touch you. Let trust return in its own quiet way. There is wisdom in softening. There is healing in allowing. There is grace in no longer trying to carry what was never yours to hold alone. And when the old fear returns, as it sometimes will, do not think you have failed. Simply come back. Come back to your breath. Come back to your heart. Come back to the truth that you are still guided, still supported, still held. Come back to the quiet knowing that the river still flows, the dawn still comes, and life still knows how to move, even when you cannot yet see the full path. Return again and again, and let that returning become your peace. Trust does not mean you never feel afraid. It means fear no longer decides everything. Peace does not mean every question has been answered. It means your heart no longer needs every answer before it can breathe. Faith does not mean you always understand life. It means you remain open to the possibility that life is still wiser and kinder than your fear believes. And that openness changes everything. It makes room for calm. It makes room for clarity. It makes room for the blessings that cannot land in a heart clenched by panic. So let this be your quiet promise to yourself. I will not let one hard season make me believe that life has stopped loving me. I will not let delay convince me that nothing is happening. I will not let silence tell me I am alone. I will remember that unseen work is still work. I will remember that what is meant for me is still finding its way. I will remember that I am allowed to trust, even before I understand. I will remember that the universe is still working for me, even now. As this message comes to a close, keep only what your heart needs most. Keep the breath. Keep the softness. Keep the simple truth that you do not have to force life to prove your worth. Keep the reminder that what is quiet is not always empty. Keep the knowing that delay is not always denial, and that hidden movement is still movement. Keep the comfort that even in uncertain seasons, you are still guided, still supported, and still part of something far greater than fear can see. The universe is still working for you, even now. It is working in ways you can feel and in ways you cannot yet name. It is working through timing, through change, through release, through healing, through unseen preparation, through quiet strength, through the slow return of peace to your heart. And one day, perhaps sooner than you think, you may look back on this season and realize that even when you thought nothing was happening, life was still carrying you with deep care. Until then, be gentle with yourself. Trust one breath at a time. Rest when you need to rest. Release what you were never meant to carry alone. Stay open to the quiet good that is still making its way toward you. and let this truth walk with you wherever you go. The universe has not left you, it has not forgotten you, and it is still working for you, even now.